All right, so I wanted to just explain four different tools that I've used to help with collaborating or critical thinking. The first one is called Miro. It's actually designed more for collaborating in workforces, but I have seen it work with students mainly because this gives you a lot of creative tools to create things that are maybe like flow charts, but I like to think of them as like brainstorming concepts for being able to write papers with students. So you could just easily choose a template like this, where you would show like a student that you want their thesis right there, their main points right there, and then their supports to their main points. I found that this really helps students who struggle with writing be able to conceptually understand like how these things are supposed to work together. Next, when I really thought of collaborating, the first thing I thought about was Flipgrid. I think Flipgrid is an amazing tool. I discovered it in this class. I've used it. This is actually a little bit of a preview of implementing my lesson plan for this class as well. I had students decide if they should, if Nat Turner should have a high school named after him, and they had to do this as a creative assignment. So the student's dressed up as like a news reporter, and he is explaining why or why not it should be named Nat Turner High School. It allows for students to comment on one another. You can change some settings in it to make it less collaborative, but overall, students being able to see each other's work, respond to it, is the heart of Flipgrid. Next, I have Jamboard, which is a Google tool. My last two are Google tools. Jamboard basically allows for you to paint and manipulate pictures. So this is something that I had students do where they worked in groups to try to highlight the biggest events in the Civil War. So they first had to outline what the Confederate States of America were versus the United States of America. And then they had to figure out where the major events of the Civil War took place and work together to come up with short definitions that are these sticky notes and then label them on the map. Again, just allows for a lot of collaboration to take place amongst students. And then that leads me to my last one, which is Google Sheets. I probably actually use Google Sheets as a collaborative tool more than any other, and I use it in this way. I want students to be able to write an entire paper, but obviously we might not have enough time in class to write an entire paper. So what I have students do is work in groups to try to just do one document as a group, and then they type it out onto this so that their entire classmates can see it. You can see the different groups down here. What this allows for is for students to see how other students are thinking through document analysis and then how they would write it out. I've learned that this is a really helpful tool for students to kind of who are more timid in their writing become better writers. So those are my four tools that I use for collaboration and critical thinking.